Good morning, good morning. So today, there's been a lot of discussion about things that Donald Trump says. Now, my view on Donald Trump is very simple. I think Donald Trump is one of the most racist people in the world. I also think Donald Trump is one of the most nastiest people in the world. Just a racist, nasty guy. But I also think Donald Trump is one of the most honest people in the world. Like, he's stupid honest. Like, he's one of those people who he doesn't have the way his brain operates, the way his thoughts operate, he doesn't think about what he says before he say it. So there's no filter to him. So everything that you get from Donald Trump is straight truth, right? Whether you like it or not, whether it's positive or negative, whether you like it or not, it's truth. Now, one of the things that he says that a lot of people are talking about today is that immigrants are taking your job, right? I'm on Sistrum, where I'm from. This is where I live at. This is where I'm from, right? And his statement is so very true because Sistrum is all black. When I say all black, black people own every part of Sistrum. All from one end of Sistrum to the next, all black. This area has always been all black. Always been all black. When I say all black, I'm talking about black Americans. I want to make that clear. I'm talking about black Americans. And I'm going to get into that too with what he said about Kamala Harriss, about her not being black. So, the thing about Sis Trump is that Sis Trump is a historically black, let's say, town. It's a historically black township, right? Now, as you can see behind me, they are building buildings on Sistrum, right? This is Sistrum. They're building this tall building on Sistrum. Now, the thing about them building this tall building on Sistrum is that they took that parcel of land, that whole piece of land that they're building that building on, they took that from black people who owned it, right? Remember how I just told you how Sistrum is a historically black town or a historically black neighborhood or whatever you want to call it? Well, it is. With Sistrum being historically black, we have a historical designation, meaning that the city and the county and the state gets grant dollars for Sistrum being historically black, because in order you have to preserve the historical aspects of Sistrum. Now, there's a lot that goes on with that. We get CRA dollars, which help supposedly revitalize Sistrum, right? But instead of taking those CRA dollars and giving it to and allowing the business owners and the homeowners on Sistrum to use it, what they're doing is, you see that building back there? They're taking the money and building these right here. Now, when you place these right here on a historical landmark, it destroys the historical part of the community. You understand that, right? It takes away the historical landmark, right? Now, when you take away the historical landmark, you got to think, a lot of businesses in this area, because it's historically black neighborhood, and because we have that historical landmark, well, a lot of the structures are old, and a lot of the people are old. So it's like, this is actually, because everything's so old, everything is a low income area. This is a low income area because everything is old. All right, boss. Because everything is old, right? What they're doing is they are using the historical landmark to keep the property value low, because that's what that does. When you have a historical landmark, it keeps the property value low. They're selling, the city and the county is taking people's property when they die and selling it to these major construction companies, right? Now, what the major construction companies are doing, they're buying the property for cheap, and then they're building these structures, right? But if you go to these structures, you will not see not one person, black American, Fort Lauderdalian, on working at these structures. You know who you're gonna see? Hispanics. They bring in Hispanics to work these jobs. Now, what is that supposed to do for the people on Sis Trump? Well, you already have a low income area, right? You build these buildings, you raise the value of the area, which raises the property taxes on the people who are the residential people who already live here. Once you raise those taxes, you put tax liens on their property and remove them from the property. This is called gentrification. Now, where was Donald Trump lying when he said immigrants are taking your jobs? Guarantee you, if you walk in this building right here, or if you walk in this building right here, you walk in any one of these buildings, guarantee you, you will not see, you won't get 10 black people. And I'll take it a step further. I will take it a step further. Not only will you not see 10 black people working in these buildings, you will not see not one black owner of any of the companies that are tasked with developing and building these two buildings in an all-black neighborhood. Get what I'm saying? Now, economically, how does that hurt this neighborhood? Well, of course, the low-income people who are from this neighborhood are not getting, number one, the CRA dollars to help build our businesses to promote more people coming into our neighborhood so that we can thrive. That's number one, because the county and the city is giving it to the major development companies. The major development companies are only hiring immigrants. That's all they hiring is immigrants. The city of Fort Lauderdale is only hiring immigrants. The bus company is only hiring immigrants. That's all that's being hired in this area. So you're draining the actual funds of the people who are from here because they are hiring immigrants. How does Donald Trump know that? You got to remember, how did Donald Trump make his money? Donald Trump made his money as a real estate mogul. He knows what's going on because he's done it. All right, now we're going to get into Ms. Kamala Harris. I've told people over and over again, and a lot of people are saying it, that Kamala Harris is not black. And when I say Kamala Harris is not black, Kamala Harris is not black American. Now, of course, her skin color isn't dark. We know that. But she's not black American. Her mother is from India, and her father's from Jamaica. They were here on work visas. or school visas. They didn't get their green card and they didn't get their citizenship until just before Kamala was born, which makes Kamala a first-generation immigrant. Kamala has no ties to America. One of the things I always say about Kamala is that I guarantee you nowhere in the United States can this lady go and go to an actual family reunion. She doesn't have a family here in America. So, for me, Kamala isn't black. That's another thing that Donald Trump was right about. You understand that, right? Now, Donald Trump is the most racist, bigot, narcissist, whatever you want to call him, that you will ever see. But the man tells the truth. Whether you like it or not, the man tells the truth. And the only reason why I'm even making this video is because I have to show you what's affecting my situation. And all of this between Kamala Harris not being black and the immigrants taking our jobs, that affects me too. How does it affect me? Well, I'm a United States veteran. I'm a veteran. I'm a veteran. Let me make this clear. I am a veteran sleeping on the streets. Graduated high school, not just in America, graduated high school in Fort Lauderdale, in America, in Florida. Went to the military, joined the United States Army in America from Florida, joined the United States Army, served this country for 14 years, and went on 4 combat tours outside of my country, outside of my state, outside of my city, outside of my house, and I'm on the streets. Meanwhile, a woman who has never served in the United States military, a woman whose family is not from America, is running for president. Now, I'm not jealous of nobody doing anything, but I don't even call this irony. I just call it fucked up. The fact that immigrants can come to my country, can come to my town, can come to my city, can come to my neighborhood, which is all black, mind you. See my skin color. The fact that these people could come here and get a job working, tearing down buildings in my neighborhood, that certain people that I know, that I grew up around, like this whole block, when I was a kid, my mother knew everybody that owned a house and that knew everybody that owned a business on this side of town. Everybody. So we used to walk up and down the street when I was a kid, talking to people who own businesses and talking to people who own houses. Now, you telling me a native of this part of town can't even get a job in a part of town that he's from, and you don't think that's a problem? That's a problem. That's a problem. Deuces.